Something we all have to look out for in our everyday lives are scams. These are, unfortunately, things that are very common when it comes to the financial industry or in matters concerning elderly people. The legal world is no exception here. And I would like to take this time to warn you of two prevalent issues in the legal estate planning world that we do see. And that's first the low-cost free living trust seminar and trust mills. Hi, I'm attorney Andrew Bethel, here with another video. To preface what I will talk about here, there is of course nothing inherently wrong with a free estate planning or trust seminar. Plenty of law firms host them, ours included. However, the perniciousness arises in how they are conducted, who hosts these presentations, and when they're actually used to funnel unsuspecting people into a trust mill. Estate planning or trust seminars hosted by a reputable lawyer or law firm are simply presentations where the presenter, usually a lawyer, goes over the topic at hand. Sometimes food is provided and the attorney will either begin meeting with people right then and there, or they provide the option to schedule a meeting with the attorney to discuss each person's particular situation in detail. Now, the problem arises when these types of presentations are not actually hosted by an attorney. I've seen many ads where the host is banking on people being attracted by the low cost of a trust and a free meal that they don't realize the ad never says who's actually hosting the seminar itself. That, or it only has a company name, which you have to do some Googling in order to find out who the real host is. And that usually turns out to be either an insurance or financial planner or some type of finance company. Now, they may know the basics of setting up a trust to avoid probate, since estate planning is a complementary service to their industries, but they aren't an attorney, or at least not a licensed or practicing one. They are professionals in their fields, but they are using the trusts as a lure to bring you into their area of expertise. Every time I've had a client come in who attended one of these types of seminars, they tell me they get the basic information on trusts, but that the presentation also centered around purchasing another product, life insurance, long-term care insurance, or some type of annuity or something like that. Again, I'm not saying these individuals are inherently dishonest or unknowledgeable in their products or that their products are no good, but I would like my insurance representative to be an expert in insurance and know how to find me the best insurance for my needs and circumstances. I'd like my CPA or EA to be an expert in tax in navigating the tax code, and I'd like my estate planning attorney to have an in-depth knowledge of estate planning law and all the nuances that come with it. These people working on your behalf should have deep knowledge in their fields and know where their field intercepts with another so they can actually coordinate with your other professionals for your benefit. Otherwise, you end up hiring a jack of all trades but a master of none, really. Additionally, this means you're working with someone who may have an ulterior profit motive, whether it be commissions on a sold insurance policy, commission for a sold annuity, or even ongoing commissions or management fees for any money that gets locked up in an annuity or other type of financial product. Keep in mind, if funds are locked up in some type of product like an annuity, there can often be large penalties for early withdrawals or simply be inappropriate for your particular situation, especially for elderly people where they need access to their funds. Next, you should look out for trust mills. And by a trust mill, I mean a company where there's a one-size-fits-all type trust churned out with either minimal or even no attorney supervision. These are a little harder to spot at first, especially if an attorney is actually involved. A seminar, like those I've mentioned before, might be hosted by an attorney, but actually be a way to simply funnel people into these trust mills. The main way to spot one is to ask whether you would be able to meet with the attorney for more than just a 10-minute initial meeting after which the attorney hands you off to a staff member to gather your information. You should also ask if you can call and either schedule an appointment or even speak with the attorney over the phone. Next, keep in mind, will the attorney be the notary for the documents, like the living trust that requires a notarization? Or will you only be meeting with a notary to sign, notaries being precluded by law from explaining legal documents they're notarizing unless they're an attorney? Finally, how much work is the company leaving on your shoulders to do? Finding a notary, recording deeds to transfer property into a trust, or working with banks to retitle assets into your trust? Only licensed attorneys can practice law, but these trust mills are often run by non-attorneys who will either do everything on their own, or they go out and hire an attorney, usually one right out of law school who doesn't quite know any better, to be the supervising attorney, meaning they're there to speak to clients who may insist they speak to an attorney, and to be, in essence, a liability shield. The quality of trust you can receive out of either one of these scenarios will oftentimes be very low. They'll usually be competent enough to avoid probate based on just the basic provisions in them. However, we've seen these trusts have silly mistakes like even incomplete sentences, conflicting provisions, no safety net language for long-term care or what-if scenarios, poor grammar, poor formatting, or with language that just simply does not make sense as written. The worst offenders are when people are provided a trust, but they're not provided or sometimes not even told how to put their assets into their trust to begin with. An empty trust is invalid and does nothing to avoid probate. If you are working with a reputable lawyer, they should go over your accounts with you to determine which ones should go into your trust and which can stay out. They should also prepare the appropriate deeds to transfer your real property to your trust, and really they should be assisting with the recording of that deed with the county recorder in order to update the chain of title. We have had multiple probates on properties that should have been in trust, but the owner either went through a trust mill or got an off-the-shelf estate plan and didn't realize more work was needed to be done than simply signing the trust itself. Now that's great for us lawyers because it increases our fees. Watch our video on probate fees and how they're calculated. But it's horrible for the family as more of the estate is chewed up in legal fees due to the trust being set up poorly to begin with. Now, if you come across a business acting in an inappropriate manner, there are resources you can use to report them for their harmful consumer practices, which we can link down in the description and in a pinned comment below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to check out some of our other excellent videos here, but don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell, and tell us what you'd like for us to cover down in the comments below.